Hello, everyone. What you're about to hear is a story that will change how you think about love, sacrifice, and second chances. For 30 years, a woman ran a small diner in downtown Chicago. And for 15 years, an elderly man came every single night at 10 o'clock. He was always the last customer, always ordered the same meal, always left at exactly 10:30. No one knew why. But on the diner's final night, he spoke 3 words that revealed a secret no one saw coming. This is a true story about a father and daughter who lost 15 years, but found something even more precious in the end. If this story touches your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe. Your support means the world to me. Now, let's begin. The decision to close. Downtown Chicago, winter 2023. On the corner of a quiet street stood a small diner called Rosie's Place. The sign was faded. The paint was peeling, but inside it was warm. The owner's name was Sarah Mitchell, 45 years old. She had her mother's kind eyes and her father's. Well, she never knew her father. It was 9:45 p.m. The last few customers were finishing their meals. Thanks, Sarah. See you tomorrow. Actually, Mr. Chen, Sarah took a deep breath. I need to tell you something. She walked to the door and taped a piece of paper to the glass. After 30 years of serving this community, Rosie's Place will close its doors on December 31st. Thank you for your love and support. Sarah, Mr. Chen read it slowly. His face fell. Sarah, no, this place it's home. I know. I'm so sorry. What happened? The rent doubled. The neighborhood's changing. And honestly, I'm tired. Sarah had been running this diner alone for 3 years since her mother Rose passed away. Rose had opened Rosie's Place 30 years ago, right after her divorce. Just her and baby Sarah. No help, no family, just determination. Sarah grew up in this diner, did her homework at table 4, learned to cook in that kitchen. Her mother never talked about Sarah's father. He left before you were born, honey. That's all you need to know. For 45 years, Sarah believed she had no father. But that was about to change. That night after closing, Sarah sat at the counter. She looked at the old photos on the wall. Her mom, young and smiling. Little Sarah in pigtails. I'm sorry, Mom. I tried to keep it going. I really did. Her phone buzzed. Bills. Always bills. Rent $8,000 late. Utilities $200. Suppliers $3,400. The diner barely made $6,000 a month anymore. She couldn't do it. Sarah walked into the small office in the back. Her mother's desk was still covered with old papers. She'd been meaning to clean it out for 3 years. Might as well start now. She opened the drawers. Old receipts, cooking notebooks, a photo album. Then in the bottom drawer, wrapped in a faded cloth, a wooden box. Sarah had never seen it before. She opened it carefully. Inside were letters, dozens of them, all addressed to my dearest Rose. Sarah's hands trembled as she picked one up. My dearest Rose, I know you said never to contact you. I'm respecting that. But I need you to know I never stopped loving you. I never stopped thinking about our baby girl. Is she healthy? Is she happy? I pray every night that she is. I'm sorry for everything. I wish I could change the past. Forever yours, Robert. Sarah's heart pounded. Robert? Who was Robert? She opened another letter. And another? They were all from the same person. Dated over 30 years. The first one was from 1978, right after Sarah was born. The last one was from 3 years ago, right before her mother died. Sarah's mind raced. This Robert, Was he her father? But why did her mother hide these letters? Why did she say he left? She kept reading. Rose, I saw the diner today. Rosie's place. You named it after yourself. I stood outside for an hour, hoping to catch a glimpse of you. I didn't, but I felt close to you. That's enough. I won't come inside. I promised you I wouldn't interfere. But know this, I'm here. I've always been here. Robert. Sarah felt tears running down her face. This man, whoever he was, had been writing to her mother for 30 years. And her mother never told her. Why? She kept digging through the box. At the very bottom was a hospital document. Patient Rose Mitchell. Diagnosis stage 3 breast cancer. Date March 15, 1978. Prognosis treatment required. Long-term survival uncertain. The year Sarah was born, her mother had cancer. Sarah's mind was spinning. Her mother never mentioned being sick, never seemed weak or fragile. Rose Mitchell was the strongest woman Sarah had ever known. But this document said otherwise. Sarah kept reading through the papers. There was a divorce decree. Robert James Mitchell and Roseanne Mitchell. Divorce finalized June 1978. Reason irreconcilable differences. Mitchell. They had the same last name. So her mother kept his last name after the divorce? None of this made sense. Sarah needed answers, but her mother was gone. The only person who might know the truth was Robert. If he was still alive, the next morning Sarah opened the diner as usual. The regulars started coming in. Sarah, is it true you're really closing? I'm afraid so, Mrs. Patterson. But where will I eat breakfast? You make the best pancakes in Chicago. You're sweet. Thank you. One by one, the customers said their goodbyes. Some cried. Some hugged her. Some just sat quietly, taking it all in. This diner wasn't just a restaurant. It was a community. For 30 years, people had celebrated birthdays here, anniversaries, graduations. They'd mourned losses here too, shared their troubles over coffee. Rosie's place was more than food. It was comfort. It was home. That night, 9:50 p.m. The diner was almost empty. Sarah was cleaning up, getting ready to close. Then at exactly 1,000 p.m., the door opened. The bell chimed. Sarah looked up. An elderly man walked in, probably in his 70s, thin but dignified. Clean white shirt, old but polished shoes. Good evening, he said quietly. Hi there. We're about to close, but you can stay if you'd like. Thank you. He sat at the counter, the same seat he always took. Wait. Sarah looked at him more carefully. This man, he came every night. For as long as Sarah could remember, this man had been coming to Rosie's place every single night at 10 p.m. He always ordered the same thing: meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and coffee. He always ate slowly, quietly. He always left at 10:30. Sarah had served him 1,000 times. But she didn't even know his name. The usual? Sarah asked. Yes, please. Sarah went into the kitchen and started cooking. As she worked, she watched him through the window. He sat very still, his hands folded on the counter. There was something sad about him, something lonely. Who was he? And why did he come every single night? Sarah brought out the food. Steam rose from the plate. Here you go. Thank you. He began eating, slowly, deliberately, like he was savoring every bite. Sarah hesitated. Then she spoke. Excuse me, sir. He looked up. I've seen you come here every night for years, but I don't think I ever caught your name. He paused. A flicker of something crossed his face. Surprise? Fear? Robert, he said softly. Sarah's breath caught. Robert, the same name from the letters. It couldn't be. Robert Mitchell. Time stopped. Sarah gripped the edge of the counter. Mitchell? He nodded. Are you? Sarah's voice shook. Are you related to Rose Mitchell? Robert's face went pale. He set down his fork. Yes. How? Robert closed his eyes. She was my wife. Sarah couldn't breathe. This man, this quiet, sad man who had been coming here every night, was her father? You're Robert, Sarah whispered. You're my father. Robert's eyes filled with tears. Yes. Sarah felt like the world was tilting. Why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you tell me? I promised your mother I wouldn't. Promised? When? 45 years ago. Robert's voice cracked. When she asked me to leave, music swells. The last customer. Sarah sat down across from Robert. Her legs felt weak. Start from the beginning, she said. I need to know everything. Robert nodded slowly. Your mother and I met in 1976. I was 23. She was 21. We met at a bookstore. Both reached for the same book. Our hands touched. He smiled faintly at the memory. It sounds like a movie, I know. But it's true. We started talking. Couldn't stop. Spent the whole day together. I fell in love with her that day. And I think she felt the same. Sarah listened, her heart pounding. We got married a year later. Small wedding. Just us and a few friends. We were so happy. We had dreams. We were going to travel the world, start a business together. And then, Robert's voice broke. And then you were on the way. Sarah's eyes welled up. We were overjoyed. A baby. Our baby? But 2 months into the pregnancy, Rose started feeling sick. Really sick. We went to the doctor. They ran tests. Robert's hands trembled. Stage 3 breast cancer. Sarah gasped. The doctor said she needed aggressive treatment. Chemotherapy. Surgery. But she was pregnant. If she did the treatment, she might lose the baby. If she didn't, she might not survive. Sarah put her hand over her mouth. What did she do? She refused treatment. Robert's tears fell freely now. She said, I'm not killing my baby. I'll fight this after she's born. I begged her. I said, Rose, please, we can try again. We'll have another baby. But I can't lose you. She wouldn't listen. She carried you for 9 months. She was so sick. But she never complained. And when you were born, Robert smiled through his tears. You were perfect. Sarah was crying now too. After you were born, Rose started treatment. But the cancer had spread. The doctor said, 5 years, maybe less. I told her, we'll fight this together. I'll be with you every step of the way. But Rose, she had other ideas. Robert's voice hardened. She asked me for a divorce. What? She said, Robert, I'm not going to drag you down with me. You're young. You deserve a full life, a healthy wife, more children. I told her she was crazy. I said, I don't want anyone else. I want you, sick or healthy. I made a vow. But she wouldn't budge. Robert clenched his fists. She said, if you love me, you'll let me go. So I did. Sarah stared at him. You just left? What choice did I have? She filed for divorce, moved out, took you with her. I tried to find you. I hired investigators, sent letters, called every hospital in the state. And then one day I found her, here, at this diner. She'd opened Rosie's place. She was raising you alone. I watched from across the street for weeks. I saw you, Sarah, a little girl with pigtails, laughing, playing. You looked so happy. Robert's voice cracked. I wanted to run in, hug you, tell you I'm your dad. But Rose saw me one day. She came outside and said, Robert, please. Don't do this. Sarah doesn't know you. If you show up now, it'll only confuse her. Please, let her have a normal life. I asked, what about me? Don't I get to be her father? She said, you'll always be her father. But right now, she needs stability, not questions. So I made her a promise. I promised I wouldn't contact you. I wouldn't interfere. But I couldn't stay away. Robert looked around the diner. So I came here every night for 15 years just to see you, just to know you were okay. Sarah's tears wouldn't stop. You've been coming here for 15 years just to see me? Yes. Why didn't you ever say anything? I promised your mother, but she's gone now. I know. Robert wiped his eyes. But I didn't know how to tell you. How do you walk up to your daughter after 45 years and say, "Hi, I'm your dad"? Sarah didn't know what to say. This man had been watching over her for 15 years, silently, lovingly, and she never knew. What happened to Mom? Sarah asked. The cancer? Robert smiled. That's the miracle. She survived. The treatment worked. The cancer went into remission. By the time you were 5, she was cancer-free. Sarah's eyes widened. She beat it? Yes, she lived another 40 years. Then why didn't she tell you? Why didn't she let you back into our lives? Robert shook his head. Pride, maybe. Fear. I don't know. I wrote to her every year, begged her to let me see you. She never answered. Until 3 years ago. Sarah leaned forward. What happened 3 years ago? The cancer came back. Sarah's heart sank. She called me. For the first time in 40 years, she said, Robert, I'm dying. And I need to tell you something. I rushed to the hospital. When I got there, she looked so small, so fragile. She held my hand and said, I'm sorry. I was wrong. I should have let you be part of Sarah's life. I was just so scared. Scared of what? I asked. Scared that you'd see me weak. Scared that you'd pity me. Scared that Sarah would see me as broken. Robert's voice was barely a whisper now. She said, but I was the broken one. I broke our family. And I'm so sorry. I told her, Rose, I forgive you. I never stopped loving you. She smiled. And then she said, Robert paused, his voice shaking. Go to the diner every night. Watch over Sarah. And when the time is right, tell her the truth. Those were her last words to me. Sarah was sobbing now. Her mother, her strong, proud mother, had carried this guilt for 40 years. And this man, this stranger, had loved them both from a distance. I'm so sorry, Sarah whispered. For what? For not knowing. For not seeing you. For... Robert reached across the counter and took her hand. You have nothing to apologize for. You were a child. This was between me and your mother. But you missed everything. My childhood, my graduation, my life. I didn't miss it. Sarah looked up. I was here, Sarah. I saw you grow up. I watched you learn to cook. I saw you graduate high school. You wore a blue dress. Sarah gasped. She had worn a blue dress. I saw you fall in love. Break up. Cry over your mom when she got sick. I was here, always. Sarah couldn't hold it in anymore. She broke down completely. Robert stood up and walked around the counter. For the first time in 45 years, he hugged his daughter, and she hugged him back. Music fades, uncovering the truth. That night, Sarah couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about everything Robert had told her. Her mother's cancer, the divorce, the 15 years of silence. It was too much. The next morning, Sarah went back to her mother's office. She pulled out the box of letters again. This time, she read every single one. Dear Rose, Sarah turned 5 today. I bought her a teddy bear. I left it on the diner's doorstep. I hope she liked it, Robert. Sarah remembered that teddy bear. She loved it, slept with it every night. Her mom said it was from a kind stranger. It wasn't a stranger. It was her father. Dear Rose, I saw Sarah's art project in the diner window. She drew a family, a mom, a little girl, and a dog. No, Dad, it hurt, but I understand. Maybe one day, Robert. Sarah's heart ached. She kept reading, letter after letter. Her father had documented her entire childhood from afar, and her mother had kept every single letter. Why? If she didn't want him in their lives, why keep the letters? Sarah found another document at the bottom of the box. It was a journal, her mother's handwriting. June 12, 1985. Robert came to the diner again today. He sat outside watching Sarah play. I wanted to run to him, to tell him I'm sorry, that I made a mistake. But I can't. He's built a life without us. He deserves to be free. I won't trap him with my guilt. December 3, 1990. Sarah asked about her father today. She said, Mom, why don't I have a dad? I told her, You do, sweetheart. He just couldn't stay. She asked, Did he love me? I wanted to scream, Yes, he loves you more than anything. But instead, I said, I don't know, honey. I'm a coward. Sarah's tears blurred the words. Her mother had regretted it, all of it, but she never said anything. Why? Sarah kept reading. March 20, 2000. I saw Robert at Sarah's high school graduation. He stood in the back, didn't say a word. Our eyes met for a second. I wanted to run to him, but I didn't, because I'm selfish and scared, and I don't deserve his forgiveness. Sarah closed the journal. Her mother had been in pain for 40 years, and so had her father, all because of pride and fear. The next evening, Robert came to the diner again. 10 p.m. sharp. Sarah was waiting for him. Hi, Robert. He smiled faintly. Hi, Sarah. Can we talk? Of course. Sarah sat down across from him. I read Mom's journal. Robert's face changed. She kept a journal? Yes. And she wrote about you. A lot. What did she say? That she regretted everything. That she wanted you back. But she was too scared to reach out. Robert closed his eyes. I wish she had told me. Me too. They sat in silence for a moment. Then Sarah asked, What did you do after the divorce? I threw myself into work, became a mechanic, worked 70 hours a week. I thought if I stayed busy, I'd stop thinking about you two. But I never did. Did you ever remarry? Robert shook his head. No. Why not? Because I was still in love with your mother. Sarah's heart broke. For 45 years? For 45 years. Over the next few days, Sarah and Robert spent hours together. He told her stories about her mother, how they met, their first date, their wedding. He showed her photos he'd kept for decades. Young Rose smiling in a summer dress, Robert and Rose on their honeymoon. A blurry ultrasound photo of baby Sarah. I've carried these with me everywhere, Robert said. Sarah held the photos carefully. Thank you for keeping them. They're yours now. One night, Sarah asked, Why did you keep coming here, even after Mom died? Robert looked around the diner. Because this place is full of her, and full of you. Every corner, every table, every smell. It's like she's still here. Sarah understood. She felt the same way. Music transition, the regulars' stories. Word spread quickly Rosie's place was closing. Every day regulars came to say goodbye. Mrs. Patterson, who'd been coming for 20 years. I met my late husband here, she said. First date. He ordered pancakes. I ordered coffee. We talked for 4 hours. Your mom kept refilling our cups. Never rushed us. When he proposed, he did it right here. Table 6. Sarah smiled. I didn't know that. Your mom was there. She cried happy tears. Mrs. Patterson wiped her eyes. After he passed, I kept coming here because it felt like he was still with me. Thank you, Sarah, for keeping your mom's dream alive. Mr. Chin, a retired teacher, shared his story too. I started coming here 30 years ago, right when your mom opened. I was going through a divorce, lost my job, lost everything. Your mom gave me free meals for months. Wouldn't take my money. She said, pay it forward when you can. I did. I became a teacher, helped hundreds of kids, all because your mom believed in me. Robert listened to every story. He'd been watching from the sidelines for 15 years, but he'd never heard these stories. Rose was incredible, he whispered to Sarah. She was. I wish I'd been here to support her, to help her. You were here, Sarah said, in your own way. One evening, a young woman came in, maybe 25. Hi, I'm Emily. I don't know if you remember me. Sarah studied her face. I'm not sure. I used to come here when I was a kid with my mom. We were homeless, living in a shelter a few blocks away. Your mom let us eat here for free. Every single day, she said, everyone deserves a hot meal. Emily's voice cracked. She saved our lives, literally. My mom got back on her feet, got a job, got us an apartment, all because your mom gave us hope. Sarah hugged Emily tightly. Thank you for telling me. Robert watched Sarah interact with all these people. She had Rose's kindness, her warmth. She was exactly like her mother, and he'd missed it all. But he was here now, and that had to count for something. The breaking point. Closing day was 2 weeks away. Sarah had been cleaning out the storage room when she found another box. Inside were newspaper clippings, all about Robert. Local mechanic wins Small Business of the Year. Robert Mitchell, owner of Mitchell's Auto Repair, was honored. Mechanic donates $50,000 to Children's Hospital in memory of his late wife, Rose. Wait, late wife, Rose? Sarah read the article again. It was from 2020, right after her mom died. Robert had donated a huge sum of money in her mother's name. Sarah's hands shook. He'd called her his wife, even after 40 years apart. That night, Robert came in. Sarah confronted him. You donated money to the hospital in Mom's name. Robert looked surprised. How did you? I found the article. You called her your late wife. She was my wife. You were divorced. On paper, maybe. But in my heart, she was always my wife. Sarah's voice rose. Then why didn't you fight for her? Why didn't you fight for us? Robert flinched. I tried, Sarah. I tried for years. Not hard enough. Sarah was angry now. All the pain, all the confusion boiling over. You should have fought harder. You should have shown up. You should have. I did what your mother asked me to do. Robert's voice was loud now, too. She begged me to stay away. What was I supposed to do? Force my way into your life? Yes, you should have. That's not how love works, Sarah. They stood there, both breathing hard. Then Sarah broke down. I needed you. I needed a dad. And you weren't there. Robert's anger melted away. I know, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He stepped closer. But I'm here now, and I want to be in your life, if you'll let me. Sarah looked up at him, tears streaming down her face. I don't know if I can forgive you. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm asking for a chance. Sarah thought about it for a long moment. Then she nodded. Okay, okay? Yeah, one chance. Robert's face lit up. Thank you. A father's love. Over the next week, Robert and Sarah spent more time together. He helped her pack up the diner. Where's this go? Trash pile. You sure? It looks valuable. It's a broken coffee pot, Robert. Right. Trash. They laughed. It felt good to laugh. Robert told her more stories about his life, his business, his regrets. I never had kids. Well, except you. But I never got to raise any. Did you want more? I wanted a full house. Kids everywhere. Chaos. Sarah smiled. Mom wanted that too. She told me once. Really? Yeah, she said. I wish I'd had 5 kids. Then someone would always be around to help in the kitchen. They both laughed. One night, Sarah asked, what do you want, Robert? If you could have anything? He thought for a moment. I want to know you, really know you. What's your favorite color? What's your biggest fear? What makes you laugh? I want to make up for lost time. Sarah felt her walls coming down. My favorite color is blue. My biggest fear is being alone. And bad puns make me laugh. Bad puns? The worse the better. Robert grinned. What do you call a fake noodle? Sarah groaned. What? An impasta. Sarah burst out laughing. That's terrible. You're laughing. I can't help it. They laughed together. It felt like family. Another night, Robert brought something. I made this for you. A long time ago. He handed her a small wooden box. Sarah opened it. Inside was a bracelet, handmade, with her name carved into it. I made this when you were born. I was going to give it to you on your first birthday, but I never got the chance. Sarah put it on. It fit perfectly. It's beautiful, just like you. That night, Sarah lay in bed, staring at the bracelet. Her father had made this 45 years ago, and he'd kept it. All this time, waiting, she realized something. He'd never given up on her. Not once. And maybe it was time to stop being angry. Music swells, crossing memories. With 1 week left, Sarah started going through more of her mother's things. She found videos, old VHS tapes. She set up an old TV and VCR, pressed play. The screen flickered. Then there she was, Rose, young, vibrant, pregnant. Hi, baby, Rose said to the camera. It's me, your mom. I'm making this video because, well, I might not be around to tell you this myself. Sarah's breath caught. I want you to know that you are so loved. Your dad and I, we can't wait to meet you. The camera panned. There was Robert, young, smiling. Hi, kiddo, he said, waving. I'm your dad, and I already love you so much. He put his hand on Rose's belly. We're going to be a family, the 3 of us, forever. Sarah's tears fell. They looked so happy, so hopeful. The tape continued. Rose in a hospital bed, holding baby Sarah. She's perfect, Rose whispered. Robert was there too, crying happy tears. Our little girl. He kissed Rose's forehead. We did it, Rosie. We did it. The tape cut off. Sarah sat in silence. Her parents had been so in love. What happened? She found another tape, dated a year later. Rose looked different, tired, thin. Hi, Sarah. You're 1 year old today. I'm sorry I'm not. Myself, I'm sick, really sick, but I'm fighting. For you. Rose's voice cracked. Your dad, he's been amazing. He takes care of you while I'm in treatment. He loves you so much. But I can't do this to him. Rose wiped her eyes. I'm gonna let him go, so he can have a real life. I know he'll hate me for it, but it's the right thing to do. I hope someday you'll understand. The tape ended. Sarah finally understood. Her mother hadn't left because she stopped loving Robert. She'd left because she loved him too much. She didn't want to be a burden. But in trying to protect him, she'd hurt him even more. Sarah called Robert. Can you come over? Now? Yeah. I'll be right there. When Robert arrived, Sarah showed him the tapes. They watched together. Robert cried. Openly, I forgot how beautiful she was. Look at us. We were so young. So stupid. Sarah looked at him. Stupid? We should have fought harder. Together. We let fear win. He turned to Sarah. Don't make the same mistake I did. What do you mean? Don't let fear keep you from the people you love. I wasted 45 years. You don't have to. Sarah nodded. She understood. 3 days until closing. The diner was packed every single day. People wanted one last meal at Rosie's place. Sarah and Robert worked side by side. He washed dishes. She cooked. You're pretty good at this, Sarah said. I had a good teacher. Who? Your mom. I used to watch her cook, even after the divorce. Through the window? Yep. Like a creep. They laughed. One customer, an old man named Frank, pulled Sarah aside. I have to tell you something. What's up, Frank? I knew your dad. Sarah froze. What? Robert. I worked with him. At the auto shop. He never talked much. But one day I asked him, why don't you have any pictures of family? He said, I do. I just keep them in my wallet. So I asked to see. He showed me a picture of a little girl. You. I said, your daughter? He said, yeah. Where is she? I asked. He said, close, but far. Frank's eyes were wet. I didn't understand then, but I do now. He loved you, Sarah, every single day. That night, Robert and Sarah sat at the counter after closing. Tell me about your life, Sarah said, the things I missed. What do you want to know? Everything. So Robert told her about his business, his friends, his hobbies. He loved old cars, fishing, baseball. I'm a Cubs fan, he said. No way. I'm a Sox fan. Are you kidding me? They argued playfully. It felt normal, like they'd known each other forever. What about you? Robert asked. Tell me about your life. Sarah shared stories. Her first boyfriend, her first heartbreak, her dreams of traveling the world. I wanted to see Paris, Rome, Tokyo. Why didn't you? Mom got sick. I stayed. Do you regret it? Sarah thought about it. No, I got to be with her. That's worth more than any trip. Robert smiled. You're just like her. The next day, Sarah had an idea. Robert, will you help me with something? Anything. I want to cook Mom's recipes. One last time. All of them? All of them. They spent the entire day cooking. Meatloaf, pot roast, chicken soup, apple pie. The diner smelled incredible. Then they invited everyone, all the regulars, all the neighbors. Free meal tonight, in honor of Rose. The diner was packed. People ate, laughed, cried. They shared stories about Rose, how she helped them, how she changed their lives. Robert listened to every word. He'd missed so much, but he was here now, and that mattered. At the end of the night, everyone applauded. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for everything. Sarah stood up. I want to say something. The room went quiet. This diner wasn't just my mom's dream. It was her legacy. She built this place to help people, to feed them, to love them. And I'm so grateful I got to be a part of it. But there's someone else who should be recognized. Sarah looked at Robert. My father, Robert Mitchell. Robert's eyes widened. He's been coming here every night for 15 years, watching over me, loving me from afar. I didn't know who he was, but now I do. And I want to say, thank you, Dad. The room erupted in applause. Robert stood up, tears streaming down his face. Sarah walked over and hugged him. I love you, Dad. Robert could barely speak. I love you too, sweetheart. The final night, December 31st, the last day of Rosie's place. Sarah woke up early, couldn't sleep. She walked through the empty diner one last time, touched the counters, the tables, the walls. This place had been her whole life, and now it was ending. Robert showed up at 8 a.m. You're early, Sarah said. I wanted to help you set up. One last time, they worked together, cleaning, organizing, preparing. At 11 a.m., they opened the doors. The line stretched around the block. Everyone wanted to be there for the last day. Sarah and Robert served food all day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. They didn't stop. At 9 p.m., Sarah made an announcement. We're closing at 10:30 tonight. Last call for orders. People rushed to get one final meal. At 10 p.m., the diner was still full, but Robert wasn't there. Sarah looked around. Where was he? Then, at 1005, the door opened. Robert walked in. He sat at his usual spot. The usual? Sarah asked, smiling through tears. Yes, please. Sarah made his meal with extra care. Meatloaf, mashed potatoes, coffee. She brought it out. Robert looked at it, then at her. Thank you. For what? For giving me a chance. Dad, I know I wasn't there. I know I missed everything. But these last 2 weeks, they've been the best of my life. Sarah sat down next to him. Mine too. Robert ate slowly. When he finished, he reached into his pocket. He pulled out an envelope. I want you to have this. What is it? Open it. Sarah opened the envelope. Inside was a check for $200,000. Robert, I can't. Yes, you can. It's my savings. Everything I have. Use it to reopen the diner. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. What? Don't close Rosie's place. Keep it going. I can't do it alone. You won't be alone. Robert smiled. I'll help you. Sarah couldn't believe it. You want to run the diner with me? If you'll have me. Sarah started crying. Yes, yes, of course. They hugged. The entire diner erupted in applause. At 10:30, Sarah locked the door. But she didn't turn off the lights. We're not closing, she announced. We're just getting started. New beginnings. 6 months later, Rosie's place reopened. New sign. Fresh paint. Same heart. But this time, it wasn't just Sarah's. It was theirs. Sarah's and Robert's. They worked together every day. Robert in the front, Sarah in the kitchen, just like Rose had always dreamed. The regulars came back. Welcome back. We missed you. New customers came too. The diner was thriving. One day, a young woman walked in. She looked familiar. Hi, I'm Emma. I think I'm your half-sister. Sarah's jaw dropped. What? My mom. She dated your dad years ago, before you reconnected. I didn't know he had a daughter. But when I saw the news article about the diner, I had to meet you. Robert came out from the kitchen. Emma? Hi, Dad. They hugged. Sarah watched, stunned. You have another daughter? Robert looked sheepish. It's complicated. Sarah laughed. Of course it is. Over time, Sarah and Emma became friends. Sisters. Emma started helping at the diner, too. The family kept growing. 2 years later, Sarah met someone, a kind man named David. They fell in love, got married, and had a baby girl. They named her Rose. Robert held baby Rose in his arms. Tears streamed down his face. She looks just like your mom. I know. I wish Rose could see this. She can, Sarah said. I know she can. Robert lived to be 85. He spent his final years surrounded by family. Sarah, Emma, baby Rose. He was happy, truly happy. When he passed, Sarah found a letter in his wallet. It was addressed to her. My dearest Sarah, if you're reading this, I'm gone. But don't be sad. I gotta spend my final years with you. That's more than I ever dreamed. I wasted 45 years being afraid. Don't make the same mistake. Love fiercely, forgive quickly, and never ever give up on the people who matter. Thank you for giving me a second chance. I love you, sweetheart. Forever. Dad, Sarah cried, but they were happy tears because she'd gotten her father back. And that was everything. Today, Rosie's place is still open, run by Sarah and Emma, and sometimes by little Rose. The walls are covered with photos. Rose and Robert, young and in love. Sarah and Robert, reunited at last. 3 generations, 1 family. Every night at 10 p.m., Sarah looks at the door, expecting to see her father walk in. He's not there, of course, but she feels him in the smell of meatloaf, in the warmth of the coffee, in the laughter of customers. Love doesn't end. It just changes form. And at Rosie's place, love is everywhere. The end. Thank you for listening to Sarah and Robert's story. I hope it reminded you that it's never too late. Never too late to forgive. Never too late to reconnect. Never too late to say, I love you. If there's someone in your life you've lost touch with, reach out. Today, not tomorrow. Today, life is too short for regrets. If this story touched your heart, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support means everything. And in the comments, tell me, is there someone you need to reconnect with? Let's hold each other accountable. Let's choose love. Thank you for being here. Until next time, take care of yourself and take care of each other. Goodbye.